If you know me, you know that I love anything related to journaling. So, of course, I'm going to open my own store where I will offer journals, notebooks, and planners. I created my first journal in a season that I was seeking for outside validation. As you can see, I use it. And it's just the three things that are important to me: something that I'm grateful for, something that I'm proud of, something that I dream of, and something that I pray for. Something simple but effective. And then for my planner, it's like I say, it's having a conversation with yourself all month long. You have your vision board, your end of the month review, things that you're tracking. And then last but not least, I have my notebooks. And this is just in hopes to motivate others to journal as well. You can find these and more at butterflydreams.co. Butterflydreams.co. For first time customers, you had use coupon code first purchase for 15% off of your first sale. Thank you so much for your support. Have a blessed day. Hello and welcome to Conversations with Francie. That's me, where you will find talks about mental health, life, business, anything fun. It just depends on the episode and the guest. I love to bring in more positive energy. Let's learn from one another and build a community of people supporting each other. Thank you so much for being here. Now, hope you enjoy this episode. Hope you enjoy this episode. Now, let's get the show started. So, on today's solo episode, I'm going to be talking about Puerto Rico. And how did it go? So the background is perfect. Sorry for using background, but right now I need to get my life together and I don't have a space. So I'm going from sometimes I do it in the room, and tonight I'm in the living room. If it sounds like I'm whispering, it's because everybody's asleep and I'm in the living room. So, anyways, as you can see, I'm going through a rebranding. I have changed the website. I have changed the podcast is going into a rebranding and it's gonna not be effective till May 8th. But this is a solo episode, so I was like, oh, let me introduce it to you so you know what's going on behind the scenes. So there's a lot that has been going on as I have been working on the online store and things like that. Now I don't do a monthly review, I do a quarterly review. So when I do this quarter review, I will talk more about all the stuff that is happening behind the scenes. Um, but yeah, let's talk about Puerto Rico. So I was so nervous because if you know me, you know that I was born in New York, raised in Puerto Rico, and then moved to the United States again when I was 15. So I have had a pretty crazy life. And but every time that I go to Puerto Rico, I have been gone for 20 years, which sounds insane to say it, that I have spent more. This year, I finally realized that I have spent more time in the US than I have in Puerto Rico. And that's just crazy to me. But every other year, I try to go back and see my family. I don't like to be apart. And if I can see my mom like every year, that will be amazing. But sometimes it doesn't happen. Last time that I was there, it was for an emergency for my mom. Thank God that she's okay and everything came out good. But that was on a vacation. And so it had been like 4 or 5 years of like a really good vacation, but nothing like this time. Because this time it was with my partners, you know, that I'm in a trouble. So my boyfriend and my girlfriend and three other friends. And it was insane. So I always traveled by myself since I was 15 years old. And so, anyways, It was my first grown-up trip, meaning that I did not go to my room at all, and I was so happy for that. I love my family, and by the end of the week, like midweek, I was already feeling like, okay, this is cool and all, but I would love to be in the porch, the porch talking to my aunts or in their room because one of them is in bed. So like things like that I would enjoy more. Like I'm seeing how family is more important than having this crazy adventure, but I'm still happy that I was able to have it. So I asked for 2 days before vacation to get ready, and I'm so glad that I did because there was a lot going on, between shopping, packing, and just making sure everything was okay. It's 7 days in a different country with other people, so you're not only thinking about your needs, but the needs of other. And then I'm so blessed that in my trouble, my girlfriend is like the one that takes care of like the household stuff and things she thinks for us pretty much. So, but anyways, I tried to help her out here and there. Then there was the cleaning of the house because it was gonna be crazy. So, anyways, we get on the plane. One of them had anxiety over being the first time on the plane. We were sitting, the three of us together, and then the couple on their own. So it was cool because we were together, but we had individual space to airport, then go back to Puerto Rico. We're finally in Puerto Rico and we're in San Juan and it just having our best life. We had to make a stop to make sure that we're happy through the whole trip. And we were very happy. Um, yeah, first we had to hit a panaderia, a bakery, and then it was so funny for me to trying to tell them like, no, they're gonna have good food. They don't get it. A panaderia in Puerto Rico, it has desserts, it has bread, amazing bread, um, a mini grocery store, and a restaurant. Oh, and a coffee shop all in one. And it was so crazy for them to see their reaction um of like, oh my gosh, they got this and they got that. Oh, that's fancy. And then we went to one that it was like super fancy, and I was like, no, we need to go to like a regular panaderia. It's too fancy for me. And fighting over the dessert. So I can share clearly and because of my lifestyle. But do not touch my pastelillo de guayaba, okay? No. We had the first argument. He was like, no, we're only gonna have one, and everybody's gonna try a little bit. I said, sir, do not touch my pastelillo de guayaba, okay? That is for me and me only. So it's a guava pastry and it's amazing. It's one of my favorite. And I do not share. I need my whole thing. Oh, flaky and then guava in the middle, powdered sugar. It's just awesome. If you're looking at my nails, my five bonus daughter made my nails and I love it. Different colors in every single one. Anyways, you get it. Okay, so we get there and we go from San Juan to Arecibo. That was like an hour and a half, or something like that. An hour and a half, I think. We get to the first house. It's amazing. It's big. It has air conditioner. It has hot water, hammocks. Oh, nope, sorry. That was the shipping containers. I have to think about each town, and I got my own notes over here because those were the shipping containers. They did have hot water, they had air conditioner, and each shipping container was like an apartment. So everybody had their little areas. There was two kitchens, three bathrooms, like it had it all. So it has hammocks and then pigeons. And can anybody answer me why? Why do pigeons walk? They have wings. They can. fly. But the only they did was the shipping containers. And yeah, I'm talking about the huge one. It's a thing in Puerto Rico, and I love it. They're super comfortable. Um, and it gave us ideas to like for stuff in the future. But anyways, it was awesome. And then we went walking at the beach. We had good food. Back to the Airbnb. Then next day, it was gonna be our first road trip around the island, doing in a circle. So starting at San Juan and then in San Juan, there was a couple of things that we wanted to see that it was the main things, but we were not ready because I told him. But anyways, that's the story for another day. El Yunque, La Parguera, and we found two other bays where you could see the fluorescent light thingy in Puerto Rico, but you need to make an appointment, pay for the tickets and whatever you need to do beforehand. So we messed up on that, and then the times between towns because we were driving all over the island. All in all, we saw 40, we drove through 42 to 45 different towns. Out of the 72, we visited about 15 and we stayed in seven because every night we were going to a different Airbnb. Crazy. We would set it up the day before. Like when we were finally home, relaxing for the day, we would sit down as a group and make the decision which town are we going next, um, what Airbnb that fits six people and has at least two bathrooms. So it was getting complicated kind of at the end, but we did it and we were all comfortable in every single house. So then day two, we go to Isabela, and then from Isabela, we were gonna go to Aguadilla, but I was like, hey, Mocha is like right there. So you can drop me off to see my parents. I'll stay with my parents, or you guys go to Aguadilla. Now, I love my island. I love the West Coast. I am West Coast, 100% West side of Puerto Rico. But I grew up in Mocha and Aguadilla. Like, let me go see my family because I'm not missing. I, I don't want to say I'm not missing much, but I know I have seen the places that you're going, so I just prefer to be with my parents at this time. So I went. I did a couple of phone calls to see if cousins can go to my neighborhood because in my neighborhood there's a lot of family members. So I was able to see most of my aunts and uncle, I only missed one. That one broke my heart. Like I have never missed my aunts and uncle. Like I always see them. But this was half a day in Mocha, where I'm from. So I surprised my mom. Never ever would do that again. Let's just say that she was not ready for visitors. And I was like, Mom, I told you at 9 o'clock in the morning to be ready. She was like, but you told me to be on the next town, not that you was coming over here. Anyways, we got to see them. She got to meet everybody. They love her and she loved them, and that meant a lot to me. My mom was like, you look the happiest from the times that I have seen you, as she knows my complicated situation and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, mom, like, I can't say anything. I'm really, really happy. I'm very proud of the family that I had built, even if, like, I'm not 100% comfortable, like, sharing it. Like, I talk about it in the podcast and I guess my YouTube channel, but I really don't talk about my life in social media. I didn't post a lot of pictures that we took together. I just did like a reel, and you can see the pictures through the reel because there was so many pictures. I took like 400 pictures in a week. But anyways, I was in Mocha. I got to see my family, and then from there, my mom took me to Aguadilla. I try not to drive, but I did drove from Aguadilla to Rincon following my boyfriend. I was so scared. Like it's so different to follow him over here in Kansas where the highways are like flat and we have like uh 4 or 5 lanes. Where in Puerto Rico the, the streets are so narrow and sometimes two ways. It's like a one way. So it's just like and the curbs and things like that. But my mom only drives in uh towns like Moca, Mayagüez, Aguadilla, like close towns. And I only drive if my mom has anxiety of getting there. So it was just crazy. But then we ended up I was able in Aguadilla, I was able to buy piraguas and they were excited. It's like snow cones, but 10 times better. And then we all had our piraguas and then followed them to Rincon and we went to El Faro, the lighthouse, and it was so cool. My mom had not been there for like 40 years and just took some pictures and was able to have that time and just crazy and surreal that it felt like a dream, like to have people, my family that I'm creating here in the United States and take them to Puerto Rico. It was the first time that I take anybody to Puerto Rico, and I'm like, why have I not done that before? Now I can't wait to have a Puerto Rico trips with my girlfriends, like my girls that are friends. I don't want to say like I have a million girlfriends, like girls that are friends, and have a great time because now that I have seen so many towns, I know exactly where I want to go and things that I want to do. So I'm so excited. I'm definitely a mountain girl. Like everybody was excited for the beach. You can see the beach in the background. And I love that. That looks calm as fuck. But being in the mountains is better to me. Like I have a couple of videos of the night noises, the coqui, the crickets, the frogs, things like that is so calming at nighttime, not the roosters. And we found the roosters in like five of the seven houses that we stayed in. There was always a rooster. And I wish that I can do editing so I can put pictures as I'm talking about it so you guys know what I'm talking about. But I did do the reels on my social media so you can check them out. As of right now, they're still Life with Francy podcast, but I don't know if I'm going to make them Conversations with Francy, which is the rebrand of the podcast. But anyways, we go to the Rincon. Then the next day we get up and it's time to go to Añasco and get to Ponce. So we stop at Añasco and we had a piña colada just from the streets. It's so funny how they thought like it was crazy. And I'm like, no, this is normal. Like this is how people survive over here. And it was like the greatest piña colada ever. And we took some amazing pictures. Like, oh, with everybody. Anyways, we went from Añasco to Ponce, and Ponce. That house in Ponce was like a whole nother level. I'm talking about massage chair, jacuzzi, hot water, air conditioner, and okay, when I told them my version of Puerto Rico. I'm talking about hurricane season, no light, no water, definitely no heater. I go to my aunt's house to take a shower because in my house is my mom lost the cold water. So she's like, nope, you better take a shower at noon because in now the water is gonna be cold. So I usually go to my aunt's house to take a shower. So I'm like telling them my experience, my perspective, but we were staying in $1 million houses. I did like at the end, one of the friends was like, "Oh, Francie was being so dramatic and this and that." I said, "Sir, next vacation, we're gonna go in hurricane season, and you only can go to my room. You can only stay in my room. You gotta play in my room. We gotta do this in my room, because what? Yeah, different perspective." And I was like, I want to be a millionaire in Puerto Rico. Like they're living good over here. So, anyways, so for Ponce and in Ponce, we got in trouble. Okay, a Ponceña, it started like, hey, people gotta work tomorrow and this and that. I looked at the clock because I was like, damn, the time flew by that it's 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that. It was 10:30. And grandma was not having it because we were laughing and just being in the backyard. but we went from 40 years old, 30s, and 40, 140 and 34 the youngest, and 40 the oldest. And we went from that age to 5 years old real quick. We put our head down and we went back inside. We were inside like little kids that are being punished. Like, are you kidding me? We're grown ass people. And then not only that, it's 10:30 at night. But the houses were like so close, so I'm not doing no urbanización. That's not for me. The rich people, whatever. I don't know why I put it in quote. They're literally rich people. So there's no quote about it. Um, they're not playing around, they live way too close. I don't like that. I like the and then it's like one of the cities too. I like country. I'm really country. I never realized how country I am too. I like go to a city in Puerto Rico and I'm like, this is not for me. So then we go to Ponce. In Ponce, we checked out like 5 different beaches. And then the next day we were going from Ponce to Cabo Rojo. So we check a couple more beaches in Ponce before we head out to Cabo Rojo. And then it was crazy too because I have seen YouTube videos of beaches that have been they can be privatized or whatever the word is, because the beaches are public in Puerto Rico, but there's apartments and hotels and things like that. So they're doing pathways, and it was my first time where I had gone to one that it was a pathway, and it just broke my heart because I was like, oh my gosh, I remember coming to this beach, and now it has a huge apartment complex, and it was heartbreaking. But it's the things that are happening in Puerto Rico. People that have money get to do pretty much whatever they want. And then from Cabo Rojo, we head out to Barranquitas. And Barranquitas, was it at nighttime that we get? Yeah, we went there at nighttime, and that was the wrong decision because Barranquitas is mountains, okay? And it was so scary at nighttime and so many curves and things like that. It was not a fun time. My anxiety was like super high. And during the day, it didn't make it any better because I was like, oh my goodness, we could have died. We could have died. Oh my God, that is so scary. So it's not easy. But I love Barranquitas. The house had a creek. It was gorgeous. The space where it was at. Oh, I have the most amazing pictures in that house, and the noises at nighttime. It was just perfect, pure country. And then from Barranquitas, we go to Fajardo, and Fajardo, it was okay. I mean, we didn't spend that much time, but I really can't remember too much what we did there. But then the next day, we head out to San Juan, and then we spend the day in San Juan, and that's where I injure myself. Just for being old. So I'm clumsy. I have no balance, and I still chose to get on a electric scooter, and it didn't work out. I think I lasted a block. I don't think I got to 2 blocks, so a block and a half, and I was on the floor. It was hilarious, but I didn't laugh till very, very late. So it was like 6 to 7 hours after it happened. And it was so funny because I went to the restaurant afterwards, and which that's like a crazy story on its own of me ordering food for 6 people. Hilarious. But we were at the restaurant. She's like, I'm gonna start with you because you have a long face. And I was like, girl, if you only knew. And then we were trying, the friends were trying because they were not with us. They were trying to analyze and as to what happened and this and that. I was like, we're not talking about Bruno, pretty much. So we're gonna chase conversation. One of my friends went, yeah. So the sky is beautiful over here. And I was like, You got it. You got it. But I couldn't be mad at anybody but myself. I know that I'm clumsy. I know that I have no balance. I know that I never got into all of that. I never did roller skating, skateboard, bicycle. I did for like 2 years, maybe from 12 to like 14, maybe 15. So, like, I really don't know any of that. And I chose to just get an electric scooter and live my best life. That didn't work out, but I survived. I came back to work with the band-aids on my knees. The jokes were hilarious, and I'm glad they had a good time thanks to my story. And let's see what else. Ordering food was funny. I finally had coffee. They still debate me on it that it's not coffee because I like milk with a taste of coffee, not coffee with a taste of milk. And they don't like it that I call it coffee, but I did have some Puerto Rico frappuccinos and they were delicious. What else? I'm trying to think. So many things that happened. Oh, my family, my goodness. Two of my aunts were trying to understand my throuble, and it was hilarious. And I just never thought that I would have that kind of conversations with them. But they were trying to ask for naughty questions. So I was like, oh no, that's not what we do over here. But I was dying laughing. And just having that great communication with my aunts and uncle and my cousins and things like that that I never thought that it could be possible because I felt so judged as I was growing up because of my story and I was acting, which I didn't know that it was just hormones and I was just a teenager, but they made me feel a certain way and to have that kind of conversation about my lifestyle now and they still hug me and kiss me and there was a mutual respect. I know it's respect is huge in my family and just to see that they see me as an adult and trying to understand me and not be judgy, it was it was a different feeling. Don't get me wrong, I still got those family members. The last vacation, one of my cousins wanted to do an exorcism as I was talking to her. So I got my they're not all perfect, but it's family. What do you expect from them? But yeah, so that was my little summary of my time in Puerto Rico. I had an amazing time. It was awesome. I mean, to be there, I thought that I was gonna have more jealousy because it's Puerto Rico and it's my territory and having somebody else there, but we were actually closer and it comes out that I don't have like a huge bubble in Puerto Rico or my bubble is different. Over here, I don't like people uh touching me or kissing me or I just at random and things like that. Like, don't get in my bubble, don't touch me, don't even touch me. But over there, I didn't have that. My walls were down, and it's the first time that I noticed the difference. But if you were to tell me things about family and things like that, I will be more self-aware just because of my experiences. Not all has been bad, but I feel a certain way. So my walls are different in Puerto Rico than over here. And I just loved taking, like I said earlier, my family that I'm creating over here to my family in Puerto Rico. And for my family in Puerto Rico to see me now as a grown ass woman, 36 years old, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, and some of his friends. It was cool. It was cool. Like I can't wait to do it again. So, anyways, now you know if you want to know where you want to stay at, I'm your girl. I can tell you exactly where to go in Puerto Rico now. And definitely if you plan a trip over there, pay for stuff before you go, plan ahead of time, and when you go to the beach, man, just go to the panaderia, grab you pork, chicken, and all that stuff, put it in a cooler and with a bread, and that's how you live your best life in Puerto Rico. Anyways, yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think I missed anything else, so I'm gonna let this one go. Thank you so much for your support and have some grace with me as I do all the changes for the podcast, as I do the rebranding. And, share with me like what kind of questions would you like me to ask the guests? What kind of guests would you like to see in the podcast? And let's get this show started because I'm not going anywhere, not anytime soon. So thank you so much for listening to another episode of Conversations with Francie. You can find the show in all major platforms as well as my YouTube channel. You know the drill. Like and subscribe, help this girl out. Anyways, hope you have a blessed day. Bye bye.